What is going on, guys? Fitcho here, and welcome back to my F1 2016 Vandoorne Career Mode. It is round number 4, the Russian Grand Prix in Sochi, and I am still riding high off that Chinese Grand Prix. I'm still trying to process how the hell I managed to go from 16th to 1st in changing conditions at my worst track of the season. I don't know how that happened, but that was a crazy race. I still can't believe I actually won that race. It was just crazy. I thought my goal was to get a podium in Season 1. I know I said this in the last episode, but I wanted to get a podium in Season 1, and I got a win after 3 races, which is crazy. I'm not expecting anything like that here today in Russia, but this is one of my favorite tracks, to be honest. I really like the Sochi Autodrome. It's quite good. I don't know, I like the track, has a nice flow to it. It's going to be interesting to see how it goes with our McLaren, as it is quite power hungry, especially with that really long run down to turn, well, I think it's technically turn 2, because you got the kink, and then you got that long DRS straight, the curving one as well. So it's going to be interesting how that plays out. It's not really going to help our car, that section, but I quite like the track, like I said, so it'll be interesting to see how that works. But it is time for qualifying for the Russian Grand Prix. If you are excited for this video, make sure to smash that like button. If you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Without further ado, let's jump into qualifying for the Russian Grand Prix. I forgot to tell you guys that the racing line is back off again, so we're back onto Elite Assist. It was just for China. I had to run it. I just couldn't get the hang of that track whatsoever, and I didn't really have the time to put the practice in and get used to it, but it is back off again. And I was also looking at the R&D section of the laptop before I jumped into this session, and Toro Rosso are making some serious moves in the R&D department. They brought 2 new upgrades here to Russia, and they are almost on par with Williams. We haven't really done much ourselves in the R&D department since the first race of the season, and that's because I've been saving the R&D points. And after this race, hang around to the end of the episode after the race, because I will then be doing some upgrades and seeing what resource points I have. I think I've got over 1,000 now, and it'll be a bit more after the race. And then we're going to lash out and get some upgrades ready for the European season and the Spanish Grand Prix, which is up next. Here we go, we're about to start our final lap of qualifying. Our banker lap has put us down in 17th place, and we're also behind our teammate, but not by much. But here we go, our final lap of the session is underway, and we've got a good exit off the final corner, and you can see we're already up by 0.03 on the delta. It's not much, but it's still very early in the lap. We'll see what we can do. Out of the final corner, we're a 2.5 seconds up on our previous time, and that's put us in 11th place. I'm happy about that, as the qualifying goal set by the team was to finish 12th place or higher, and it looks like we've also out-qualified Jenson, so that is a good qualifying session for us. I am losing the ability to speak. It's 9:30 at night on a Friday night, and I've had exams this week. That probably explains it. But we've qualified 12th or higher, or we've beaten Jenson Button, so that's a good qualifying session for us. We're really in the perfect spot in qualifying, 11th place, so we're not in the top 10, so we're not restricted to starting on that tyre. When the highest place started, that gets free choice of tyres at the start of the Grand Prix. So we're really in the perfect position for us in a McLaren. This is where we want to be, qualifying 11th. We don't want to be any higher or any lower. That's really the perfect qualifying session there for us. Come on. We're going to lose this rivalry. No, we're going to draw it. Come on. We're not even going to draw it. Oh, no. Jenson's won the rivalry 30-29. If we had just got the fastest sector in one of those sectors, say the middle sector, we were so damn close. We could have at least drawn the rivalry. I knew we weren't going to win it after China. But to actually lose it, I thought we might have been able to draw it, but not quite. That's disappointing. We've lost the first rivalry of this career mode, and the driver position is going to go up, and then it's going to go back down for the rivalry. I forgot about that. So we're going to be down at 7 in the driver position, which is on the top end of the green, which is pretty good. So the race strategy, it's pretty obvious looking at that graph. It's going to be the one-stop softs and the super softs, and it says we could pretty much go the entire distance on the soft tires, so there is absolutely no thought of a 2-stop. It says it's going to be like 15 seconds slower to go on the 2-stop, so we're definitely going for that 1-stop strategy, starting on the softs, then going to the super softs. We're going to be quick at the end of the race, but I've just noticed something yet again at the top of the screen, the exact same thing as China, the 5th little weather thing along, and there is a rain droplet, exactly the same as China, and we all know how that turned out last race. Could it be a repeat? I'm not going to count my chickens too early, but we'll see how the race goes. We're going to go with a little bit extra fuel because this McLaren definitely chews through its fuel quite quickly, and it's also nice just to have that little bit in reserve to attack, especially considering we don't have the greatest straight line speed. But I think it's time for the formation lap for the Russian Grand Prix. Here we go, engage the clutch up to optimal RPM, the lights are coming on. It's lights out, and away we go. The Russian Grand Prix is underway. Try and minimize that wheel spin up into rich revs. He's got a very long run into turn 1. Oh, there's been a big crash. Big crash between Vettel and a few other cars. We need to get back a couple positions. On Kvyat as well. Raikkonen, Vettel, safety car out. Just go past quickly, Kvyat, please. Go. Thank you, Kvyat, for finally going past. But a huge crash at turn 1. I think it was both of the Ferraris, and I think it was a Mercedes caught up in that. A huge smash, and that's obviously brought out the safety car. We're up into 7th place, and Jolyon Palmer is also out of the race. So down to 18 runners already in this Russian Grand Prix. What a hectic start we've had to this race. We're now in 7th place behind the safety car. Are the AI going to come in? It's going to be interesting because they could probably come in and go all the way to the end on softs from what I saw on the strategy at the start, but I doubt they'll come in this early in the race. What are you doing, Massa? We've literally stopped on track. What's happening? Wait, no, I've just been given the... Okay, I've just made up positions on Ricciardo and Kvyat. I'm now in... I don't know what's happening. I'm in 5th place now, somehow. I really don't know what's happening, and there's all the debris on the track. The AI just stopped. And I think one of them might have even got some front wing damage. There's also been a crash down here at the first braking zone, turn 2. And on the exit, there is debris everywhere. I don't know what's happened. I don't know what's happening on the safety car. The AI just stopped in the middle of the track. And then I thought I was going to get passed by AI behind ghosting, so I just continued driving. I accelerated. Then it gave me an illegal overtake, and then that disappeared, so I have gained those positions. So I am now in 5th place in the race. I don't know, I didn't think I had a legal overtake on Kvyat in the first place, but I also got past Ricciardo there, so it's all a bit of a shambles, this safety car. But all I know is both Ferraris and Nico Rosberg are out of the race, and so is the Renault of Jolyon Palmer. And we are now in 5th place behind the Force India of Nico Hülkenberg, and that looks like a Williams up in 3rd place of Felipe Massa. I think I'm going to say that's Verstappen in 2nd. It's going to be Hamilton leading the race because he's the only one of the top 4 drivers that hasn't crashed out. Safety car in this lap. Hamilton's backing up the field from Verstappen, Massa, Hülkenberg, myself in 5th place. Then it's Ricciardo. We're in rich revs, waiting for Hamilton to go. I think the green flag will drop when we're just before the penultimate corner. I think that's where the safety car line is here in Russia. Here we go, we're about to go. There we go, green flag. So we're going to get this move done on Hülkenberg up the inside of the penultimate corner because we can overtake as early as the penultimate corner on a safety car restart. We're up into 4th place now. And then we've got Felipe Massa right in front of us. We're in rich revs. He's got a Mercedes engine. I don't think it's going to be enough. As Rio Haryanto gets the fastest lap of the race under safety car conditions. And Kvyat is now in behind us. So I'm not too sure what's happened to Hülkenberg. That's very odd. He just seems to have disappeared. There's a big sort of gap behind us. We're right behind Felipe Massa now. In his dirty air, can we try something out of turn 3 into turn 4? Yes, we can. Right around his outside, up the inside turn 4. Made that stick on a Williams, unlike Kimi Raikkonen did in real life. We've also gone purple, but that's the first actual racing sector we've had. And we're up into a podium place. Here comes Felipe Massa as we head down towards turn number 2. Can we try and hang it around his outside? We're just going to have to concede that position for now. and try and get a better exit than him, and try that same move we did through turn 3. That's what I'm going to go for, I think, here on the Brazilian, as we're going very, very wide, but we're still going to go up his inside there as we really locked that front right. We're giving a bit of a squeeze, but he's holding on there, the feisty Brazilian. But we make the move stick, or hold on to the position, I should say, in third place. Here goes Felipe Massa on the inside of this very tricky corner. But we managed to go right around the outside, which gives us the inside, and we hold on to this podium place for now. We just got a message from Jeff. Light rain in 10 minutes time. So I was right with what I was looking at on the race strategy before the race. It's going to rain in this race at some stage. And that worked for us a treat in China. Could it work for us a treat here in Russia? But DRS has just been enabled, and this is not going to be fun. We've got Rich Rez. He's got DRS and a Mercedes engine. Here he comes. Yep, there goes Felipe Massa. What can I do? What I can do is try to look right around his outside. What a move! Back around his outside very late on the brakes. And we made that move work. What a move that was. Hold on to this podium place. I'm not going to give this position up easily. That's for sure. Here he goes again, and he's got the move done. Can we go around the outside of this corner? It's not really an overtaking opportunity. I think a car has just tagged our rear and turned himself around behind us. I felt a little bit of contact and saw yellows came out. I think that's what might have happened. We've got a nice run on Felipe Massa. Can we try something into the penultimate corner? No, we can't. Need to try and line him up for a move down this pit straight. We will have DRS, Slipstream, and Rich Revs. Hopefully that'll be enough to power this Honda past the Mercedes engine of the Williams. We're about to find out. DRS is now open as we're heading down towards turn number 2. We are definitely gaining, and we're going to go for it late on the brakes. A little bit of a lockup, but we have made that move stick back into a podium position. Here goes Felipe Massa, DRS, Slipstream, everything there for the Brazilian, but we're going to go for a bit of a switchback line. We've found we can usually get past the AI through this long turn 3 on the exit of it. We're just getting a little bit of understeer, but there we go, he's backed out of it. Like the AI always seem to do on that final bit of that corner. We've made that move stick into turn number 4. Here he goes, he's going to the other side this time, and look how easily he's got past us. We're going very late though. We've had to cut the corner a little bit just to make sure he didn't make any contact with the back of Massa. But he's got that move done, and we've really lost the back end there, just trying to get on the power and catch up to him. But I'm going to leave it in Rich Revs. Hopefully we can stay within DRS range and try something down the pit straight. We're going to have DRS. We've got Rich Revs, a bit of Slipstream. Is this going to be enough? We're catching. We're going late under the brakes. Oh, we've locked up. We're going too late. Too late under the brakes there. Go back past Felipe. I tried something. It didn't work out. We didn't lose all that much time, I don't think. So it isn't all bad, I don't think. But as you can see, it's getting a lot darker. The clouds are definitely coming over. Like Jeff said earlier, rain is on its way. So this could make this race very interesting. Will the rain come before the Supersoft runners have to pit? That is the main question. Because if they do, that could really help us out. There we go. Massa is peeling off into the pit lane, the end of lap 9. So assuming he's on a one-stop strategy, he'll be going to the end on the softs. But is the rain going to come early enough for me that I don't need to change tyre before going on to the intermediate tyres? That's the real question here, as there's Lewis Hamilton, who's just coming out of the pit lane, and we're going to get him. So he had built quite a big lead, really, hadn't he? From that safety car restart to almost make an entire pit stop. But he's right behind us on fresh tyres. Can we hold him off? That'll be interesting. Here goes Lewis Hamilton. There's no point really fighting him. He's got fresh tyres, and he's in a Mercedes, we're in a McLaren. It's pointless trying to fight him. He's got this race won pretty much already, with both Ferraris and his teammate out of this race. Here goes Max Verstappen. Not really much we can do to defend from the young Dutchman. He is on fresh softs. He did start on the super soft and has made his pit stop. That's why he was behind us. But there he goes. He is now in front of us. And the rain is getting ever closer. The clouds are getting ever darker. And the darker they get, the happier I get. And to be honest, I think I'm seeing a little bit of rain falling from the sky now. Inters are not far away at all. Okay, I'm coming in for the intermediate tyres. I think it's about time. It seems like it, at least to me. Especially on that last half of the lap, it was getting quite wet, but neither of the two cars in front of us have pitted. But I did get a radio message from Jeff saying it's sort of on the crossover point, it's sort of touch and go. So, like I did in China, we're going for the intermediates before any of the AI cars. Hopefully, it pays off for us like it did in China. We're going to find out, as the rain is definitely getting heavier, and he said the rain is here to stay. You can just see it coming down on the screen now. I think we've made the right call, to be honest. There we go, DRS disabled. That's usually a big sign that it is time for intermediate tyres, and it looks like both Hamilton and Verstappen are now in the pit lane. So it's going to be interesting to see where we actually come out in relationship to them. They were a fair bit up the road from myself when I did pit, but I pitted that lap early. But I am struggling in these intermediate conditions, this first lap, figuring out where the grip actually is on the track. And there goes Massa into the pit lane for his intermediate tyres now. So start of lap 21, I haven't said anything in a while, and is quite clearly intermediate conditions. We're currently in a podium position, and it's about 15 seconds gap in either direction of us, so we've just got to keep it on the black stuff and we should be okay. The checkered flag is out. Lewis Hamilton has won the Russian Grand Prix, but none of that matters to us, as we're going to cross the line in third place. Back-to-back podiums, get in. What a race that was for us. Another brilliant result. Way outperforming the car where we should be. We should not be up that high. What a race that was. The crash at the start playing into our hands. And again, the adverse weather changing into a wet race. The rain coming down halfway through. That has benefited us. Not to the extent it did in the previous race, but nonetheless it has. And another podium finish, back-to-back podium finishes. I did not see this coming at all. I did say I like this track, but back-to-back podiums, far out. I did not see that coming. I'm stoked with that result. That was a brilliant race. And we're seeing the podium again with us on it. We're not in the middle step. We're still up there though. And in McLaren Honda, that is unbelievable. This early in Season 2, we've done 4 races. We've got a race win and 2 podiums, including that race win. We've finished on the podium in 50% of our races so far. This is only Season 1 in a McLaren Honda with 1 upgrade on it. I can't wait till I get upgrading, some more upgrades on this car. But what a race that was. Like I said, the crash at Turn 1 just playing into our hands, taking out both Ferraris and Rosberg, and then the safety car. But there you go, Lewis Hamilton has won the Russian Grand Prix from Max Verstappen, and then us, Stoffel Vandoorne, in third place, like I've just said. Back-to-back podiums for us, not back-to-back race wins, but back-to-back podiums in the McLaren Honda team. That is just unbelievable. Just off the podium was the Williams duo, Felipe Massa and Valtteri Bottas. Daniel Kvyat finished 6th in his home race, and Esteban Gutierrez in 7th for Haas. Daniel Ricciardo in 8th, and Pascal Wehrlein in the points in 9th place for Manor Racing, picking up 2 points for Manor. Very impressive drive there from Pascal, and Hulkenberg rounding out the points. Outside the points, we have Carlos Sainz, Sergio Perez, Romain Grosjean, our teammate Jenson Button down in 14th place. He did get a puncture during the race. He was quite close behind us just before we swapped onto the intermediate tyres, but then he got a puncture in the final sector of the lap. Really cost him a good result there, because he could have been up in about 5th or 4th with us, I reckon, if he didn't get that puncture. Then Kevin Magnussen, Marcus Ericsson, Rio Haryanto, and Felipe Nasr was the last of the finishes, with Julian Palmer, Kimi Raikkonen, Nico Rosberg, and Sebastian Vettel all not finishing the race, all caught up in a massive Turn 1 accident. So in the championship standings, that third place and the likes of Rosberg, Vettel, and Raikkonen all crashing out has promoted us to second place in the championship. We are second place in the championship in Season 1 after 4 races in the McLaren Honda. we're second in the championship. I don't know how the hell that has happened, but somehow it has. We're second in the championship. Lewis Hamilton is leading. He now has a really comfortable lead over his teammate in third place. 40-point lead actually after Rosberg crashed out today. And then of course I'm sitting so far up the order and completely out of place there in second place. Then in fourth place is Valtteri Bottas, doing quite well there in the Williams. I think he's had a pretty good run so far this season. Unlike the two Ferraris behind him in 5th and 6th, especially Kimi Räikkönen, who's only finished one race this season, and that was in Bahrain, where he won it. And then in 7th place, you have Esteban Gutierrez above all of the Red Bull cars, so he's doing very well in the Haas. Carlos Sainz is the best of all the Red Bull cars, with Kvyat at the bottom. The two Red Bulls almost in a Toro Rosso sandwich. A very interesting championship stacking up, except for the fact Lewis Hamilton is just absolutely running away with it. And our teammate Jenson Button is down in 15th place. And as for who hasn't scored points so far this season, just for interest, Rio Haryanto, Kevin Magnussen, and the two Saubers, because of course Pascal Wehrlein picked up 2 points today with a 9th place. And if we have a look at the Constructors' Championship, we've actually dropped down a little bit. We were 3rd, we're now 4th. Williams having a really good result with the 4-5, I believe. We had a 3rd, and then no points from Jenson Button. Mercedes are a long way ahead of Ferrari. Then it's Williams, then us. We're ahead of both the Red Bull teams. We're the best of the rest, really, once you think about those top 4. And we're actually above one of those top 4 teams, which is quite impressive. But the important thing to note, we're ahead of pretty much all the midfield teams, especially Toro Rosso. They're going to be tough to beat with their development, all the development they've been doing so far. Speaking of development, let's jump into it and have a look what upgrades we want to get for Spain, the start of the European season. So our driver position within the team is going to go up quite a lot, and it's actually going to be on the 10, right at the very top of the scale, right in the purple there, and then we get the career score that nobody cares about. And we've got a voicemail.
Hi, Emma here. I had a sit down with the executives today to talk about your progress. Long story short, they're happy. Keep it up.
Well, considering I've got 2 podiums and a race win and another podium on top of that from 4 races in my debut season in a McLaren that should be buried in the midfield, and we're second in the championship, they better be damn happy with my performances so far. But as you can see, we did lose that rivalry there. So close there in the end with the rivalry. But now, onto the interesting stuff, the R&D. So we have 1,197 resource points. An engine upgrade, the second one, is going to cost 900 resource points. And then, looking at the other things, we can get chassis weight 550 and downforce 550. So engine power, chassis weight, and downforce, they are the 3 big ones. Fuel efficiency and drag aren't that important, but what I'm thinking is I have 1,197, so I can get chassis weight and downforce ready for Spain, which is going to be good because we have Spain and then Monaco up next, so reducing the weight and getting some more downforce on the car is going to be really important for the next 2 races, so I think that's probably what I'm going to do. Then hopefully we can save up some resource points. Maybe we'll get it by the end of Canada. We can get that engine upgrade to the second one, and then we should have it for maybe Baku, because we'll really need it for Baku down that really long straight. What I think I'm going to do is go with chassis weight, yes, and downforce, because we have enough resource points to get both of them, and that's going to boost us above Haas and start catching us back up to Toro Rosso, who are really moving their way up the pecking order. They're almost on the back of Williams. They're almost passing Williams, even becoming the 4th best team. But other than that, there hasn't really been all that much movement in the R&D. Only Toro Rosso have really been making any developments. So that is all for today. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. That was a crazy race, a huge crash at the very first corner, bringing out the safety car and getting us a few positions, taking out a lot of the competition at the front of the field. Then a bit of rain, that just helped us out even more, as I'm quite good in the intermediate conditions. We weren't as quick as the Red Bull of Verstappen, but we were so far apart, like, there was such a big gap to him and such a big gap back. I probably wasn't pushing the hardest because, just want to keep it out of the wall. I'm in 3rd place in a McLaren. I did didn't want to put that car in the wall in that position. But what a race that was. It had it all. Might not have been as good as China with the race victory, but back-to-back podiums in the McLaren Honda this early in the season. I did not see this coming. Like I said, I was aiming for a podium in Season 1. 4 races down, we have a race win and another podium on top of that. It's absolutely crazy. I really hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to smash that like button. If you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll be next Fitcho, and I'll see you all next time.